This is my recap of Industry Season 3, Episode 5. If this is your first time here, make sure you go check out the other content. We do film, music, and sports on the channel. And then go check out my review of this episode where I go in detail and talk about how I actually felt about different scenes and go into my thoughts on the episode. But to get into my recap, it starts off with them talking about Lumi and how it's overvalued and how the government bailed out the company. And then it shows us a scene of Henry and Yasmin in the shower. It's a pretty nasty scene where Henry allows Yasmin to literally urinate on him. So that's what he's into. We find that out later in the episode that he does that with a lot of girls. Then it takes us to Rob, and it's Eric and a bunch of people around Rob convincing him to basically be the fall guy. He also runs into Yasmin. She convinces him Henry is on his side. Henry won't do anything to hurt him. Rob ends up going to the government select committee and he sits down. Of course, it's a lot of pressure on him. He basically cracks while he's getting questioned, but he doesn't say enough about Henry. He doesn't say anything. They stop him before he can say anything, and then it's Henry's turn to sit down. After Henry sits down, Henry definitely defends his honor. He lets them know, hey, I'm not using my power to get with girls, and he gets up. After he gets up, the secretary sits down. When she sits down, she's part of the government. She takes the blame for everything, and it gets Henry and it gets Rob off the hook, which Rob was originally supposed to be the fall guy. Now, while this is going on, we have Eric and Sweet Pea having a conversation about the company, and Sweet Pea has put together a lot of different things and has figured out that the company is in very bad shape. She lets Eric know, but Eric does not want to hear it. He takes the information in, but then he tells Sweet Pea to get back on the desk. Instead of trying to comfort her, he tells her, get back on the desk. This leads to her telling Yasmin in the bathroom, which is okay to tell Yasmin, but Harper overhears the conversation. Now, once Harper hears this information, she decides to actually leave the building, and she probably won't do the deal that she was originally going to do, knowing that the company is having problems. And after this, we pretty much don't see Harper again. But while this was going on, we have Rob and Henry getting together along with the secretary and along with Otto. And it seems like they all are creating a team and coming together. They end up having a get together later on with Henry and Rob. Yasmin comes by and she gets embarrassed because Henry starts telling all of their personal business to everybody in the room. She storms out. Rob chases after her. Of course, Rob does not tell her how he feels. Rob doesn't try to get with her. She finds out that they found her dad's body. When she finds that out, she leaves and it's just Rob by himself. He ends up going back with Henry. While all of this is going on, you also have Eric trying to verify the information he got from Sweet Pea. So he goes to Bill. Eric and Bill share what they've been going through. They've been friends. They've been at the company for a long time. Eric is dealing with a situation with trying to get his children in a custody battle. Bill is dealing with a situation where he actually is trying to come back from cancer and survive cancer. They both share a moment and they both decide that the company will go through a rough patch, but they gonna stick it out and stick through it. Now, after this, it cuts to a scene with Rob and Henry and them being together. They go off into the woods. They are in this cult-like situation where they drink some type of liquid and it causes them to hallucinate. Rob sees Nicole. He sees Yasmin. He sees Henry. He is really going through it. He also sees his mom. Henry comes to and lets us know he was just seeing monsters. And then he tells Rob, don't look into the mirror. But Rob is feeling good about himself because he knows in this corrupt business where it's not a lot of ethical standards and it's not a lot of people with morals, that he still got his morals. So he goes home, he looks up in the mirror and looks at himself, and then he goes to bed. Yasmin ends up coming, and when she comes, she gets a picture from Henry saying that she is his purpose. And then she goes and lays in the bed with Rob, confesses to Rob about her dad's situation, and they just lay together and have conversation. So this episode gave us a lot. It was very intriguing, and they really touched on how somebody has to be the fall guy and how that actually works. You know, they chose Rob, the company chose Rob, and that's how he ends up going to the committee and almost becoming the fall guy. But it was a pretty good episode. Make sure you check out my review. If you haven't checked it out already, subscribe to the channel. And like always, y'all be easy, be safe. Peace.